What's up, folks? We are back with another video, solo to group rating. This time we're going to tackle Akkan, and let's not waste any time and hop right in here. So, Gate 1 Akkan. Again, we're going over major mechanics and things that I think might give you trouble, especially in a group setting. I know a lot of you guys are worried. Raid anxiety, you want to wipe the group. So we're going to try and take care of that for you. So when you're starting this raid, battle items you're going to need for Gate 1, health potions, of course, and then sacred charms will never leave your bar. So those will be on for all gates. Leave sacred charms. Gate 1, I recommend you bring a flame grenade for the egg mech later. The last slot does not really matter. You can bring whatever you want. Panacea just to be safe. To help cleanse stacks, Atro for damage, whatever you want to do. All right, so the very first mech, you guys remember these orbs? Looks exactly the same as solo mode. You just go to your X3 position if you're party 1. And just a quick refresher, people don't know how this works. X3 for party 1 and X3 plus 1 for party 2. It's instructions on where you stand for certain mechanics. The boss is like the middle of a clock, and you're gonna go, I'm position 1, party 1, so I'm under the X3, so 3 times 1 is 3 o'clock for me, so I'm in this neighborhood. And then it just goes around like a clock from there. So party 1 is here, party 2 1 is our position 2, party 1 is 6, position 3, party 1 is 9, position 4 is 12, and then the other people are just plus 1 from that. So 1 is here, 2 is here, 3 is here, 4 is there. That's just a quick refresher. I'm sure you guys know that, but just in case. Sometimes these orbs will not spawn exactly at your spot. So you could see like sometimes the orb will spawn right here. So people will kind of do this little dance. You'll see ultimately you'll watch what other players do and just make sure you get one. This guy's walking towards this orb at first, but then realizes like this is the orb he should go to. So you'll see him back off here. So he walks over and grabs that orb. There you go. Same as normal, no difference there. You're going to just wait for him to land. The ground goes black. Done. You guys know that one, no problem. All right, this is the group stagger mech. So you needed Panacea in the solo raid guide, but now you need Sacred Charm in place of that. What Sacred Charm does is it cleanses a debuff on multiple allies. So as long as everybody has a Sacred Charm, you use it at the same timing. Once this green debuff goes orange, everybody presses their Sacred Charm, you cleanse each other, then you stagger. So we'll see how this works. 2, 1, boom, Sacred Charm goes red, everybody staggers, and you're good. This next mech, this is similar to solo, you'll see. He spawns 1 orb. This is normal mode. He spawns 1 orb. The only difference in hard mode for the record is he spawns 3 more orbs of the opposite color, and you have to kill them all. So right now, somebody with the green debuff will have to kill this and stand there. In hard mode, the other 3 people with the black debuff would have to kill those orbs. You just have to kill them in time. That's it. So you'll see somebody with the green debuff kills it, then they stand there. The boss is going to stab them and pick them up. Everybody else will do a stagger check. So he stands there, boom, spiked, stagger, everybody staggers. This is when you have those small little orbs spawn everywhere. The way I like to think of this is there's 3 separate spawns. You don't have to really know all this, but 3 people can do this mech of each color. So 6 spawns total. You'll see like this is 1 spawn right here, and then the orb can go left or right from that. All you do is run up, hit the abilities. See, he's there, so I go look for another one. He's there, I go look for another one. I saw nobody was over here, so I start hitting all these. Just use your auto attacks. Only hit the color that matches your debuff, or else you'll get yourself killed if you kill 3 of the other ones. And then once you're done here, your leader will use Sidereal just like normal. So this is after you just did the quick DPS race on the boss and you're running to the next stage of the fight. When you're running, it's just kind of common courtesy to separate from the people you're running with. Some people do this, some don't. But if you're in front of other people, just run on one of these railings That way, if somebody's close to you of the opposite color, they can be on the opposite side, and you guys don't give each other polymorph stacks. Just worth noting. Reminder, you should have Purify Rune on one of your skills. That will also help cleanse your polymorph stacks throughout the fight. So we just run like normal. We look for whatever side doesn't have the debris. So the debris is up here this time. You can see it right there with the rocks falling and the dust. We go south. And I'm going to show you two things here. The first person who gets to this spot will spawn these puddles. If you're not right with them, don't even try and run across. Stay right here until all the puddles are gone, and then you can just walk over. See these guys hanging out here? There's no benefit to running over early at all. None whatsoever. Once you get to the top of the stairs, most groups are going to break up into corners. So you see how I have a green orb, I went here. These black orbs went there. It doesn't matter. The first person there will pick a corner. That color goes with them. The other color goes to the other corner. You don't have to do this. I just didn't want you guys to get nervous if you saw this in a real raid. Some people just hang out at the bottom, and then you're waiting for the water to cover this part of the stairs right here, this little platform, and then we'll hop over. So this mech, the same as before. These spears come down, and the little bug spawn and one big monster spawns. You have to kill him. All these little ones, the big monster spawned on the other side, and I know that I can see the mini map. There's 5 people killing him, so I know it's fine. Don't have to worry about it. What you want to kind of do here is look out for your teammates. If they eat too many bugs, like they don't hit them in time and those small bugs explode, somebody could be just out here and they're petrified. They cannot move. They're stuck. So just keep an eye out for your team. You can go cleanse them with Sacred Charm if you see somebody stuck there. Wait for the ground to go black. Hop in, just like normal. So this is the egg mechanic. And this is what I want you guys to practice the most in normal mode, because it'll help you when you transition to hard mode. You're going to be in your X3, X3+1 spots. Just like that first mech where you killed your orb, I'm X3. Once the bugs crawl out, I throw my flame grenade. There's only small puddles in normal, hard mode. Big puddles, you want to stay in your area. A lot of the times the supports do not bring dark grenades. So if I'm feeling like a extra nice guy and I don't see the bugs dying, I will run up and try and kill them in that area just to prevent anybody from getting frozen. So that's why I'm running up here right now, because I saw these bugs not popping. So you know what the deal is. This is just like normal. You run in, kill this, and then you see when I exit, X3. This is for hard mode, big puddles. Start training yourself now. So watch, we break the shield and I run out and I do a little U-turn here. Like these guys would have dropped big puddles in my area and I would have had to dodge. If my spacebar wasn't up or I didn't have a movement skill, it could have killed me. So go to your spot, kind of walk out, make a little U-turn, come back. As long as you do that, you're good. That's gate 1. You got it. Gate 2. For battle items, you're only going to trade out a couple things, those last 2 slots. And I get rid of the flame grenades. And on DPS, you'll bring a destruction grenade for the 0 bar mechanic. I had you bring a Koro when you were doing it solo. But supports will bring the Koro grenades, corrosive grenades. All the DPS will bring destruction grenades. You bring that. And then the last item typically doesn't matter. If you are a support, you are going to be expected to bring a camouflage robe. You see, I always put a camouflage robe on just in case something bad happens. One of the camouflage people die, an accident happens. That way I can still stealth it and make sure the raid goes smoothly. But if you're not a support and you're not doing the camo thing, you can bring whatever you want. So in chat right here, you guys can't see it because of my camera. How about I move this real quick? So in chat, the supports typed 1-1 and then 2-2. I don't know if you guys can really see that. It's down here, very small, but they are calling their corrosive grenade and stealth robes. They're going to say, hey, I'll do the first stealth robe and I will do the first corrosive grenade. That's what 1-1 means. 2-2. Okay, I'll be the second stealth robe. I'll be the second corrosive grenade. That's all that means. Typically, the party 1 person is just going to do the 1-1 and party 2 does 2-2. But 1-1 is easier, especially if you don't have experience in here. If you understand it, they're both equally easy. But people tend to call their roles, I notice, when they're scared to do something. They will like try and call their thing quickly because it's the only thing they know how to do. But that's what 1-1 and 2-2 means here. The supports will type that. That's what they're calling. Camouflage corrosive grenade. All right, let's get it started. First mechanic is football. Now, it's common courtesy that, see how the skull spawned over here? You always want the starting position to be in the bottom right, like 5 o'clock. So the person who's going to stealth robe is sitting over there. And you can see the rest of us are trying to grab this skull, and you'll see him throw it right over here, because that's just where you start. That's the tactic people have advised. For supports, I know we haven't seen this because the solo rate it's a little different, but he's going to wait for this boss to get, I don't know, maybe here. It doesn't matter. It's not that exact. Let him get kind of close, and then you'll see him use his stealth robe, and then he picks up the skull. So watch here. Stealth, pick it up. Now he runs. He is going to run, and if you look at the top right of my mini-map, this might make it easier so you can see. So he's going to start 5 o'clock, and he's going to take a loop. He's not going to be all the way on the outside because there's these little monsters that crawl, but he's a little bit inside, taking a wide loop, and he's going to end at around maybe 11 o'clock. And he is going to do the handoff to the other person around 11 o'clock. So what does everybody else do? If you're not supports, you're sitting around in normal mode and you're waiting for these poison puddles. See how they just showed up on that guy? If you get the green poison puddle, you run to the edge, let it drop off your feet, and then just move out of it. These poison puddles, see here's another one. You get this big green thing, he runs to the edge, wait for it to drop off his feet, and then comes back and just hangs out. So the other guy did the stealth robe, you'll see him right there. This is the handoff, was up here at around 12. If you're at 11 and you're the first one, you're throwing it somewhere up here where the other support is. The only tricky part is the handoff sometimes, but if you guys need a video on that, I can do something. But anyway, he did the pass off. He's running down south here. And once he gets down here, you're done. You can throw it against the wall because as soon as Akkan respawns, you're done here. So you can see the red guy walking, boom, Akkan spawns, you're done. Back to damage. We go right into this big red stuff. And if you guys remember me talking about this in the solo guide, we have to get out of the middle. So what all groups will do now is you want to be grouped up together to pump some damage here. Everybody's going to run south to 6 o'clock. And in most groups, the leader's going to use the sidereal skill Anana, and everyone can just sit there, ignore stuff, and beat him up. So we'll run south. I wait till he gets out of the middle. He'll move right here, and then I'll cast Anana. And now, Anana gives you push immunity, and she also gives you damage reduction and decreases your meter. So people, if you're tanking this stuff, their meter slowly goes back down. But that's all you do there. Same stuff. Lantern, exactly the same. Wanted to show you real quick. You're just doing it now with 8 people total, but it's the same exact mechanic. Nothing has changed from solo here. Nothing to worry about if you're comfortable in solo mode. Pretty sure I just showed like the first part of that. Yeah. All right. So the 0 bar mechanic. This is slightly different than solo mode. It's the same premise. It's a destruction point check on the boss. But I think it's easier now because you have 8 people, whereas before you were doing everything yourself. So what I teach people is to spread out into your X3, X3 plus 1 area. That way, every single position is covered. The boss can spawn any X3, X3 plus 1 position, that little shadow that you have to counter to get sidereal meter. Also, if you're X3, X3 plus 1, that means that there's always 3 people that can hit any one counter. So if somebody has to dodge because they get the cone on them, there's other people there that can get it. So that's just what I like to tell people and teach. But you'll see, well, sidereal and corrosive 1. Remember the support's called 1-1 and 2-2. So if you're a support and you're the first corrosive grenade, you're just going to throw it immediately, as soon as you can. DPS, wait until you see that little icon, that little green corrosive grenade icon. This enhances all your weak points. So after you see that, I'll throw my destruction grenade and I'll just use my weak point skills that are not my counter. First thing, I'm going to use this sidereal, and then I throw my destruction grenade and then start using my weak point skills. You're going to want to be mindful of the outside. Counter was top left there. He hit it. We get 1/3 of the sidereal meter. It's 1/3. I remember in solo mode it was half, but it's only 1/3 in the real raid. So you see another counter, he's bottom, go down there, counter, use the sidereal again, and then the cone, it'll spawn in 1 second, I think it's on somebody. It's on any one person out of the 8, so the cone won't always go on you. But that's it. No big deal. You guys got it. If you're cozy in those solo raids, transitioning to the group stuff really isn't that bad. Gate 3. So when you first start here, you're going to line up and this little icon. I think newer groups, if I play with like veterans, people just stand in one of these positions to call their towers. This is the 142 mech. You know, where you turn the towers to make a shape. That's what you do. Some groups, there was 2 people in this group who called their position, but nobody else did. You just go stand there. So the towers will spawn at 1 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6, 7, 11, and 12. So there's like 3 top, 3 bottom, you can think of it. So I'm at 1, and you can see these people are in a good spot. We're missing 2 here, so I ping to try and be like, yo, we need these 2 spots still. Typically, whoever's doing the lantern will stay in the middle here, and, excuse me, in normal mode, it's different than solo. 7 people are going to stay outside the whole time. 1 person is designated as the lantern. They're going to do the lantern the whole fight until you get to the 32 bar mech and you do the cutscene, that big tower, the final phase. So they're doing the sewer thing the whole entire time. I guess quickly, because I'm not in the sewer here, but you guys hopefully got some experience doing the sewer when you were doing solo mode. What you need to know, the changes for group content, is that at the 142 mech, the one where these towers spawn and we have to make a shape, 4 towers will spawn above ground automatically. The lantern person down below, you're going to see 2 icons, and the best way to find them is look on your mini map. That way you can see exactly where they spawn. They're little dots. You're going to get 2 towers that spawn below, and you have to run up to those towers immediately. It's the most important thing you have to do when you're lanterning. You run to those towers very quickly, and you use your Q ability, your lantern, to shoot the tower, and it'll do, you'll see a stagger bar decrease. And then once you do the stagger, that tower will pop up outside so people can rotate it. You'll do that on 2 different towers. The people above ground, the 4 that spawn, you're going to have to do a stagger check on your tower when it spawns up top. They make it a little iffy because each tower will have a red AoE explosion. Some of the AoE explosions will be close around the obelisk, the little tower. Some of them will be like an outside ring of a donut shape here, so right next to it is safe. And that's just something you'll learn with time. But you can just kind of stand in the middle, like not right next to it, a little bit away from it, then you can dodge out or in, depending on what the red AoE is, and do your stagger. So I think for battle items, I put on dark grenades just to help with damage pushing if you have a low damage group, and then time stops. There's certain patterns, especially when you're learning, they're going to give you a lot of trouble, and you're going to want to just time stop if you mess something up. It can be the difference between you dying that run or living to keep doing damage. So always have time stops. I still keep them in my hard mode runs in case people die and it spawns. So I ping, hoping people would stand there to cover these. All right, first mechanic, stagger. X3 plus 1 for everybody. So there's 2 people blocking a laser in each side. So 4 towers spawn. You can do a little bit of stagger, run away, dodge. Dodge, dodge, dodge. Wait for those to go away, come back, block, and just stagger. That's it. If your group knows what they're doing, you should stagger it before you get another round of guillotines, and you'll be done. Easy peasy. The next mechanic, this happens at around 164 bars. This group had high damage, so we're at 155. This is that relay race with the purple chain that you have to link to Akkan, and then you stagger him. That's what we're doing here. But now it's kind of a group effort. There's going to be a tower that spawns up here shooting at the boss, a tower that spawns down here shooting at the boss, and then a middle laser that shoots out. Typically, whoever your party leader is, they're going to use a sidereal skill right here, a Nana. So they're already at the middle laser. They have to stand there to cast it. So you'll see in this video, some people are just kind of lazy or they don't know what they're doing, so they just stand there. But you want to make sure we get enough people for the purple chain. It spawns on the left side of the map where it did just like in solo mode. So let's take a look real quick. You'll see these lasers spawn. Tower top, tower bottom, middle laser. Here you go. If you don't block these, a bunch of red ring explosions will happen. So just be wary of that. See these two guys, like I have to wait. I almost have enough sidereal to use a Nana, so I'm going to cast it as soon as I can. You should be helping. You should not be just sitting around. You should be doing something. These guys blocking these top and bottom lasers, perfect. Don't just stand there. Go help the purple laser relay, because it's much slower if you have to do it with, 2 people, 3 people. 3 is normally good if you're all swiftness classes, but it's okay. Special note for artists. If you're a support and you are an artist, you have a fun little skill that creates a portal. And this is an opportunity to kind of cheese the mechanic. There's that word again, where you don't have to just simply run and pass the chain off. The artist will run over and put a portal like not right where that purple chain is, like a little bit outside of it. So somebody picks up the purple chain and then they're running full speed for like 2 seconds. And then where they end up, that's a good place to put the portal. Then the artist can run to like here and just wait. Your teammate who picked up the purple chain can then use your teleporter, and they teleport right to you, where you can then, as the artist, grab it from them by standing on it right behind them and then attach it to the boss. It's really nice, really convenient. I was sad we didn't have an artist in this run so I could show you, but that's just something that they're going to expect you to do as an artist. Nothing to be scared about. Use your portal, run over here. No big deal. So they're on the left side grabbing the purple chain right now. You can see the mini map. And you can see when they start moving very slow. So I use a Nana, then I go help. See those little icons? Once they get to 2, you want to take it. It's sometimes doesn't work very well. You'll be running back and forth over it, standing on it, and the purple chain just won't attach to you. So give yourself a little bit of extra time. And I'm primarily a crit class, so watch how fast I get slowed down here. Like, look at this. It's brutal. Swiftness classes are better suited for that, and then artist is really nice. But we just attach the chain, do the stagger, done with the mech, a nice DPS window. So now he's teleporting to the middle. This is the 142 mech, the tower mechanic. And you'll see we have our spots from earlier. Look on the mini map, you can see him. You'll see these little gray icons show up. If you're going to do this 1 o'clock spot, typically you will call if it's a star pattern or a hexagon pattern. It can only be star or hex. And the way you know is if this laser, do you see how it's like perfectly 90 degrees? It's not pointed diagonal. You can select the edges of this, like it's shooting exactly 3 o'clock. If it's shooting exactly like X3, that's how you know it's going to be star. If it's rotated slightly and the laser, this way, you can just tell by how the stone is. You'll see where the angles, the corners of this, it's like almost like a diamond instead of a square. That's how you know it's going to be hexagon. So looking at this, just star, simple, straight star. That's how I think of it. If it shoots like a straight 3 o'clock, straight 6, 9, 12, it's a star. So I will type star to them. And did you see this tower had a humongous AoE? This top one, this is the donut one. So close to it is safe, big red AoE explosion. And you saw there was another one coming from the bottom. So down here, the 5 o'clock tower, both of those have a long range donut shape. So far away, red, close, safe. If you get hit by the red, it knocks you down because it's trying to interrupt you wanting to stagger and then rotate your laser. Save your space bar. If you get knocked on the ground, don't just use it if you're not in danger, because people are rotating their towers now, all 6 towers, and those black lasers will absolutely melt your health bar. So if you're on the ground with no space bar, as somebody rotates a black laser on you, you are dead. So get used to using your space bar as a resource. Don't just press it because you can. So I wait. My tower has a close AoE radius. So the outsides explode, mine will explode, then I can start working on the stagger. Now watch, that's where the laser's shooting, those red lines. You can use the tower to block other people's lasers. So you see that? I ran really quickly and that tower blocked it for me. I'm making the star shape. There's some really nice cheat sheets. Anytime you guys are doing a raid, just Google, you go to Google, type Gate 3 Akkan cheat sheet, and it'll show you where you are for this position, whatever tower you're turning, you're in charge of. It'll be like, okay, if it's a star, aim it this way. If it's a hexagon, aim it this way. So when you're learning, have the cheat sheet up. Let me know if you want me to recommend one to you or something, but literally just Google Gate 3 Akkan cheat sheet. You'll find it, no problem. So we make a star shape and we're done. That's the mech. Run in, nice DPS window. There's a couple normal attack patterns that I think I got in here that I wanted to explain about. This is brands. So if you did solo mode, I'm sure you came into contact with a couple of these brands. The boss is always linked to you in solo mode, but that's not how it works in group content. You're linked between other players. So there's 4 types of brands. In the video, we see the green brand. And what the green brand does, it attaches 2 groups of 2 players together. You guys have to run together and drop poison puddles. So you'll see they do a really good job. The brand just started and they immediately run away from the boss. So you'll see them, they start running away because you'll see these puddles drop and they linger for like the whole 10 seconds and you can't stand on it. It does damage and gives you meter. So you run with your buddy to the outside, start running to the outside immediately, and then you guys will drop 3 puddles each. So you just want to kind of run together as you're dropping these puddles off along the edge. Anytime he does a brand, he's going to pick a player and shoot a laser at them. So don't aim the laser at the brand people. With the green puddles, he aims a laser typically at one of the brands. So that's why you want to run. So as you're running away from the boss, try and note which way he's turning to see if he's looking at you. That's why it's important to move. So I think he picks one of the guys on the left there. Yeah, who ran over there with the brand. They're moving, so he shoots the laser. Everybody else, the other 3 people, just do damage. There's 4 different types of brands. I can quickly go over those for you. That's, I would say the worst one is the green one. It involves the most people, and you have to drop puddles off while dodging laser. That's kind of the most annoying one. Red means run. Red attaches to 2 people, and you have to run away from each other. Red equals run. Because after a couple seconds, you get mind controlled and start walking back towards each other. If you get close enough to each other, you'll get mind controlled and get killed. Blue is the buddy system. Blue's the opposite of red. So red run, blue buddy up. You want to run right next to them. Just hug each other. You'll get mind controlled and start running away. Can't get too far, you get mind controlled. The other one is black, and you want to stand on his back. Red run, blue buddy, black on his back. There's 3 people that get attached with these black lasers, and he'll spin and try and shoot one of you guys with a laser. Just stay on his butt. Eventually he'll lock in on a position and stop turning with you. Black stay on his back, start shooting, or start attacking. He shoots the laser. Everybody else, if you're a back attacker, you're not going to back attack right now because that tether that links all of your teammates does damage to you. So if you're a back attacker and you see the black brand come out and you're not one of the people who's linked with the chain, just move away. Attack from the sides once he starts shooting his laser, because if you go right here, your health bar will just melt. One small caveat, doesn't happen very often, but I've seen it happen once or twice. The lantern person, they periodically have to come outside to like stack their meter when it's about to fill up so they don't get mind controlled down below. If you get insanely unlucky and you just came outside and you immediately get a brand on you, you cannot go back down. You have to wait till the brand mechanic is over, because if you go back down, the guy you attach to will get mind controlled and die. So just a small thing. I've only seen it a handful, 2 to 3 times after tons of raids. Just something to be aware of in case that happens. But that's how brands work. That's just a normal attack pattern he does after the towers. So this is another series of attack patterns I want to talk about real quick. Anytime he disappears here, he'll reappear in the middle, or he'll reappear all the way on the edge at one of these X3 positions, 3, 6, 9, or 12. If he's in the middle, he can do one of 2 attacks. He can do something called an enhanced slime attack pattern, 3 explosions, and I'll show you the pattern. That's what we get here. He can also, if he's facing you, so see how you have these indicators? This one's blue, that's his back. By default, front is white, black is blue. If he's facing down, it's skulls. That's where you run to the edge. The skulls shoot out and you just dodge those. So enhanced slime, this pattern roasts people who have done this raid a million times still. 3 explosions, and I'll try and show you an easy way to do this, safe spots for it. So once you see this green smoke, I run out here. There is going to be an explosion. Kind of draw like a box here, a rectangle. You see where this back indicator is? It's thicker than that. So maybe, I don't know, extra 50% on each side. It's like this big green box you'll see in a second. This big explosion that he does. So you want to be right outside of it. See, we're all hanging out. He's going to do this big explosion. That's 1 of 3. Then you're going to jump right where the explosion was. So 1, walk in. This is where he's going to do 2. The safe spot is anywhere in that explosion that just happened that's not close to him. So you can think of this again as breaking this big explosion rectangle into like 1/3 and 2/3. Anywhere in this bottom 2/3 is safe. Real close to him here is not safe. That's where you're going to have to go last. So we'll see the second explosion. Boom. Now you go stand right where that was, but do not go close to him. Just get inside this explosion, like right here, and stop. If you get too close to him, he's got these poison puddles around him. Those puddle poisons, that puddle of poison puts stacks on your character. It'll hurt tremendously. Once that last explosion shows up, he summons us a little slime. That's why it's called enhanced slime pattern. You can see on your mini map that little icon, the little gold helmet with the horns. That's the easiest way to find where he is. Run over, immediately kill the slime. A lot of people don't do that. Run over and kill the slime. There's other things, normal attack patterns that are tough. In Akkan, Gate 3 is mostly normal attack patterns. Don't get discouraged. Have fun with it as you're learning. The last thing is the tower. This is exactly the same as solo mode. So he spawns, you do damage. If you have your sidereal up, you use way at 15 bars. So you'll see he just spawns. We start beating him up. Stay on his back, save your spacebar to dodge the mirrors. If you do not have way, you just kill him, and then your sidereal meter will fill, and your leader will use Control C Anana, and you guys will do a destruction check on the boss. That's it. That is the group raid experience for normal mode Akkan. Once you guys are done with that, if people want me to do this for the hard mode, most raids, very few differences, and there's already a lot of guides out there. You could probably find the hard mode differences yourself. But if you need anything, just ask. I'm happy to make a guide on it. As always, I really appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks.